Hey, it's 9 News meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen here with a look at your forecasts. Smoking hot forecast, quite literally. Smoke and heat coming your way here for most of Colorado and especially on the Front Range, where the temperatures will make it up into the upper 90s for the next couple of days, and we'll have very little cloud cover and precipitation opportunities during that time. So let's take a look outside right now at 11 o'clock here this afternoon. Looking at from Cheeseman Park out towards the west, you can see a lot of blue skies up there, although you can also make out some of that haze at the lower levels in particular, which is mostly pollution, but there is also some wildfire smoke involved in that mix as well. So the air quality will be fairly poor as you go through the day here on Monday, and there's even an air quality alert that I will talk about here in just a minute. But we'll look at the current temperatures starting to go up there, getting close to uncomfortable already here at the 11 o'clock hour, with some upper 80s along the Front Range and 60s and 70s up there in the mountains with lots of clear blue skies. Along the Front Range, you can see those temperatures starting to rise all the way already up to 89 degrees at DIA, 92 in Keensburg, and we will be chasing an all-time record high temperature today here in the Denver area. The forecast of 98 degrees is very close to the all-time record set back in 2005 of 99 degrees. We could tie or even potentially break that record here, especially given the fact that the official weather station is at Denver International Airport, which tends to be some of the more extreme temperatures. Here's the next 12 hours. As you go through the day here in Denver, you can see that by noon we're already into the 90s, getting pretty uncomfortable by 2 p.m. So we'll be in the 90s from noon to 8 today, so lots of sunshine, quite a bit of heat. We're forecasting a high temperature of 98 degrees today here in the Denver area, but it could easily pop up a little higher because the probability of 98 and 100 is virtually the same, just a little bit higher probability that we'll stop at 98 degrees here today, but there's not a lot of moisture in the air, so that temperature is free to rise. Here's the forecast high temperatures across the Front Range area for your Monday. We'll see some 100s out there, most likely to the east and northeast of the Denver metro area, but the Front Range staying fairly uncomfortable with lots of direct sunlight and temperatures getting up into the upper 90s for everyone, except for maybe the Palmer Divide in Douglas and Elbert County could stay in the lower 90s today. And look at those temperatures out in the western slope and the high country, looking good for today. 97 forecast high temperature in Grand Junction today. It's been hot out there towards the west, and here's a focus here on the I-70 mountain corridor and other parts of the local mountains here, and these temperatures look pretty appealing given the fact that it'll be in the upper 90s here down at the lower elevations. So this could be your salvation, getting into the high country once again, like we've been escaping the heat all summer. Just keep in mind that there's very little atmosphere up there above 9,000 feet, which means you could get a sunburn super easy and super quick. That's the only caveat to those beautiful 80-degree temperatures up there in the high country with all that sunshine. We mentioned the air quality alerts. That's for the ozone pollution and wildfire smoke combination. And the air quality is expected to reach unhealthy for sensitive groups levels today. So if you have a pre-existing respiratory problem or just bad allergies, you don't really handle the smoke and pollution very well, you will notice the air quality going through today. That alert goes through 4 p.m. today. And we mentioned the smoke here. Most of it's coming, this latest batch of smoke is kind of coming mostly from California and parts to the immediate west of Denver, kind of going around that area of high pressure, circulating in a clockwise fashion just to the south of Denver. We're still mixing in some wildfire smoke from Canada, but since the air is not really coming directly from the north, most of this smoke problem that we're dealing with right now is mostly coming from the west, circulating around this high pressure. A lot of this is staying aloft, but some of it is working its way down to the lower elevations, impacting our air quality at down where we live. So we'll have that combination of pollution, air pollution, the ozone pollution, and wildfire smoke as well. Here's the Futurecast as we go through the day here, looking for any clouds and precipitation as we go through the day. Not going to see too much of it, especially along the Front Range. We could see a little bit of thunderstorm activity down to the south in parts of the southern San Juans, and even the San Luis Valley could pick up some precipitation as we go through the day, but we're not, most of these are dry thunderstorms, so we're talking about less than 1/10 of an inch of rain falling out of these with lightning potential. So as dry and hot as it's been, and very little moisture falling from these storms, this could be a potential fire starter with the dry lightning potential out there in the San Juans. Also out to the east along the Colorado state line, we could see a few thunderstorms this afternoon, most likely staying below severe limits, a quick gusty thunderstorm and some rain out there. Mainly growing in size as it reaches past the Colorado state line and into parts of southwest Nebraska. You see there maybe about 6:30 this evening. One of those storms could turn severe out there as we go through the later parts of the afternoon and evening. So we could be looking at some large hail potential there, 1 to 2 inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with those storms out there in southwest Nebraska. But the Front Range, Denver area staying dry, mostly sunny as we go through the entire day and into tomorrow morning. We'll wake up clear skies once again here in the Denver metro area, and that'll set the stage for another hot day. And we'll even crank up the heat a little bit more tomorrow for Tuesday. If we look at the jet stream and the upper part of the atmosphere here to get an idea of what is causing this, and this is basically a heat storm, which is just an area of high pressure that is going to rebuild here. I'll put the model into motion here, and you watch those red colors there towards the south start to build in and move towards the west. And that means there is no relief in sight, really, with this heat that's coming our way. We could get maybe a brief, weak cool front slide through on Wednesday, which could keep the temperatures on Wednesday and Thursday down just a hair. But if that front does not pan out to be anything significant, then we could be looking at 98 to 100 degree heat once again. We'll have to keep an eye on Wednesday and Thursday to see if that is the case, but otherwise we're looking at temperatures above 95 degrees for the next several days here along the Front Range and the Denver area, thanks to this big area of high pressure that's building out to the west and just gaining size and intensity as it goes through the next couple of days. Here's the forecast for tomorrow. In the Denver area, we're going to go with 99 degrees, so we could have a potentially back-to-back 99, 100 degree days here in Denver. The record for tomorrow is 101 degrees, which was also set in that 2005 heat wave. That's certainly doable. There is a heat advisory in effect for tomorrow, for Tuesday, along the Front Range, all the way from Fort Collins to Colorado Springs, excluding the Palmer Divide in between. But the temperatures are forecast to be in between 98 and 101 degrees here along the Front Range. So if Denver International Airport hits 101 degrees tomorrow, it'll tie the record. So we could have back-to-back days tying the all-time record daily high temperature. Here's the forecast highs for the rest of the state and the region. We can see some upper, a little bit higher 100 degree temperatures down in the Arkansas River Valley there along Highway 50 between Pueblo and Lamar. Temperatures getting up there close to 105, 106 degrees. Nowhere near the all-time record, but it could be close to daily records for some of those locations. So the heat is going to be on for the next couple of days and likely beyond. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Denver area. 99 tomorrow. We're kind of banking on that small cold front, or what you would call a summer cool front, moving through on Wednesday, which could keep the temperatures down there below 99 degrees for a couple of days. But like I said, that little front there, if it turns out to be pretty weak, we could be looking at Wednesday and Thursday being in the upper 90s as well, close to 100 degrees. But it seems to me like that cold front, that summer cool front as we might call it, may have just enough impact to keep us away from record high temperatures and another heat advisory, which could be coming down the pike if that doesn't pan out. And then the ridge will start to break down on Friday, which could start to bring back a few storm chances. We see some isolated storms on Friday, covering maybe 20 to 30% as it looks at this point. And then those cloud and rain chances will stay in for your weekend, Saturday and Sunday, before we may get right back into another heat wave starting on Monday as that high pressure ridge rebuilds once again. We'll keep an eye on that as it develops and as the forecast gets a little bit closer. But as you can see, the next several days, hot and dry for most of us here on the Front Range. Thanks for tuning in to this extended version of the Colorado forecast, and have a great day.